to Infowar.co's fourth podcast. Today is September 17th, and we have a plethora of news this week. It's just been crazy. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Down in South Florida, FederalJack.com's resident Popeye, he's a disabled veteran and first responder. He lived in New York during 9/11, and he was there for the attacks. That woke him up to the truth movement. He recently went to the VA, and then they gave him an obligatory document that he had to fill out. Here's what he found.
Hey guys, it's Popeye here from Federal Jack. I have to whisper because I'm in the hospital right now. They left me alone in the room really quick. But this is a form that they told me has nothing to do with the doctor I'm seeing. But they said all veterans have to fill this form out when they come in. It's a little questionnaire. Look at the questions. Now I could tell you, as a veteran, I went to the Veterans Hospital for over 7 years. Never seen this. Pretty much asking you if you're insane, if you're going to kill yourself. I guarantee you, if you fill this stuff out the wrong way, they'll come get you. They'll either come try to figure out a way to take your guns or some shit, but that's what this is, because I've never, ever seen this.
This week, WeAreChangeSF San Francisco confronts 9/11 Commissioner Richard Veniste. Let's hear what he had to say.
Thank you so much. I saw your interview on Air America, and you mentioned that about the 9/11 Truth Movement, and you talked about the credibility of some of those folks who were asking questions. And I found out there are over 700 architects and engineers who are essentially demonstrating that the buildings collapsed due to controlled demolition, and they have an excellent DVD. I was hoping to offer this to you as a gift.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benjamin. Do you support the new investigation that's being called for in New York City?
I don't.
Are you part of a cover-up, Mr. Ben? You are part of a cover-up? Thank you so much for saying that on video.
Yeah,
No, because I looked into you on the Barry Seal thing and the Clinton and Arkansas and all the dead people around the Clintons, and obviously you're working for the New World Order, and we certainly will resist. Mr. Veniste, for the record, when we take America back, we will remember that you were part of the 9/11 cover-up.
So that was good work, guys. You really made him feel pretty uncomfortable. Next time, get a tripod from like a thrift store or something. It really prevents that shaky camera thing that everyone hates, and don't be afraid to put the camera right in his face. He needs to be in the center of the frame when you do things like this. When I was starting out, like doing confrontations and stuff, like Francis Fukuyama, Robert Gates, and things like that, it's nerve-wracking, I have to admit, because, there's a lot of pressure, you don't want to stumble, you don't want to look stupid, so your hand might be shaking a little bit, feel free, just get a tripod, fold it up, hold it, and it will stabilize your camera. I mean, you can get other, camera stabilizers, they're a little more expensive. Magazine.tv, they have a how-to on doing a DIY camera stabilizer, and it works great, because good footage is, irreplaceable in the info war, but other than that, good exposure, and keep up the great work. British teenager banned from America for life because Obama is a punk. This is from Daily Mail. What horrible word could he have used? So Obama, the candidate, can flip the bird to Hillary and her supporters on national television, but a 17-year-old drunk British kid can't send an email to whitehouse.gov calling Obama a punk. Be careful what you write and where you send it, especially when you've been drinking. Now we know what happened to Kim. A Brit teen who sent an email to the White House calling President Obama a punk. Did they really have to star that out? I mean, seriously, it's not a bad word. Has been banned from America for life. The furious FBI asked local cops to tell college student Luke Angel, 17, his drunken insult was unacceptable. Luke yesterday admitted he fired off a single email criticizing the U.S. government after seeing a TV program about 9/11. He said, "I don't remember exactly what I wrote as I was drunk, but I think I called Barack Obama a punk. It was silly, the sort of thing you do when you're a teenager and have had a few." First Amendment, under the Bill of Rights and Constitution, I can call Obama a bitch-ass punk on this podcast, and you can't do anything to me. I'm a U.S. citizen, I have rights, and I can say whatever I want. You can't censor me, and you can't put me in a terror database for calling you a puppet of the New World Order. So there you go. Ringtone race row lands fan in a cell. Another First Amendment right. Of course, these aren't in this country, so it doesn't really apply to our Bill of Rights. But nonetheless, it's showing that they're oppressing people's freedom of speech worldwide. This is from The Star. Movie fan Martin Smith landed in court on a racism charge after he downloaded part of the soundtrack from the 1980s comedy film Rita, Sue and Bob too, and installed it as a ringtone on his mobile. Martin, the Holmwood, North Derbyshire, claims friends and workmates got used to hearing the voice of an Asian actor reciting the words, "I can't help being a Paki." But a woman from a mixed-race family wasn't amused when Martin's Nokia went off as she queued alongside him at the village shop. It's pretty creepy. Overhearing the clip from the movie, which chronicles the exploits of two schoolgirls growing up on a rundown estate in Brantford, the woman went home and logged a formal complaint with the police. Officers arrested the 36-year-old at his home 2 days later. He said, "Arresting me was a total overreaction. Surely the police have better things to do with their time. If Channel 4 can put Rita, Sue, and Bob too on TV all the time, as it does, then why can't I play the clip from the soundtrack on my phone? If it's good enough for primetime TV, then it ought to be good enough for my mobile." On August 23, 2010, liberty activists from the Orlando area gathered in front of Orlando City Hall to intentionally violate a city ordinance banning group feeding 25 or more persons within a 2-mile radius of City Hall. All local media was alerted prior to our demonstration at City Hall and were invited to join us. We violated this law and were able to feed over 100 homeless people without any confrontations from local law enforcement. We hope to continue this trend and explore the freedom of assembly by applying the same tactic to public assembly ordinances. And this is just phase 1, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic display of civil disobedience, and these guys are doing great work here in Central Florida, so keep up the great work. This week in South Florida, a baby got circumcised against his family's wishes. This is not malpractice, it's battery, says attorney Spencer Ehrenfold, who is working the case. They made it specifically clear several times that they did not want this to take place. Here's the video on that.
4 News exclusive into an admitted mistake made at a South Florida hospital. Doctors circumcised a baby, but the family never authorized it. And tonight, the hospital is apologizing. But the baby's parents say that's not enough. CBS 4's Gio Benitez is live outside South Miami Hospital with this exclusive. Gio?
Shannon, hospital officials say this won't happen again. But for one little boy, it's too late. Mario Vieira is just 4 weeks old. When he was born, his mom Vera says she told doctors at South Miami Hospital several times that she did not want Mario circumcised.
It's a big hospital, it's a good hospital, and I thought, okay, he's safe, so he's good there.
But 8 days after his birth, without mom even present, doctors performed the surgery.
I was crying. I spent that day, that night, the next day crying.
Why? Every man in Mario's family is uncircumcised, a family tradition. she knows a lot of people will think,
oh, that's not a big deal, I did it to my son. But what would happen if you don't want that to your son and they do it anyway?
This is not malpractice. This is a battery.
Attorney Spencer Ehrenfeld is on the case. He plans to sue the doctor and hospital for battery.
They went and they did an unnecessary, unwanted procedure on this child without the parent's permission.
How is that possible? The hospital released this statement. The baby's circumcision was an unfortunate mistake caused by a misread consent form. As soon as the error was discovered, the doctor and nurses let the family know what had occurred.
I see hospitals make mistakes all the time. What I don't see are hospitals who make mistakes and admit them.
But he and Vera say the hospital has to do more than admit the mistake, because Vera says it's a risk Mario didn't need to face.
And with him being in intensive care, with more reason.
That's right, Mario was in intensive care for 10 days.
And it was during those 10 days in intensive care?
Yes, that happened.
And hospital spokespeople say they're sorry.
I know they apologize and everything, but it's done, the damage is done.
Meanwhile, Ehrenfeld says he will file that lawsuit on Monday.
Because of the outrage, locals have organized a protest for today, actually, down at the Baptist Memorial Hospital where this took place. A high-profile showing increases the chance that this event will draw media attention, and it certainly sends the message to the hospital that unnecessary surgeries is a business that they can't afford to be in. Not one national medical association on earth endorses routine circumcisions. And there's several articles pertaining to conversations about this issue. Now, I just had a son 12 weeks ago, and my first child. I wasn't circumcised. He definitely wasn't circumcised. It's an unnecessary practice. You're actually damaging nerve endings at the end of the male parts. And if you do the research, there's really no medical benefit whatsoever. And fortunately, now even like baby magazines and baby books that we've been getting, to research and stuff, say very clearly that there are no medical benefits to this. So let that just drop out of your minds. And I hear a lot of parents say that, when you're in the shower with other boys at school, they might think you look different, so that's why we're doing it. Like, that's the most ridiculous, sheepish excuse for mutilating your son's genitalia. Trust me on this one. It's a totally healthy, not even alternative. It's the way you were made. If you believe in God, that is how God made you genetically. So why are you going to mess with that? That's This Week in News, and tune in next week. Thanks for watching.